Hi, my name is Peter Hawks. I'm the father of Ryan Hawks, a terrific skier who died on the Freeride World Tour 7 years ago in 2011. And we wanted to do something when he died to extend the impact of his life. And so we founded the Flyin Ryan Foundation. And Ryan provided us with a set of rails to run on because we found on his computer his 14 core values, what he called his principles for living. And that became the center of our mission, the idea that core values can serve to make the world a better place. One person, one day, one event, one core value, one decision at a time. And it wasn't long before we realized that simply sharing Ryan's core values, which did have an impact on a lot of people, could be more meaningful if we turned it into some kind of action program which would stimulate young athletes and students to craft their own core values. And we used as our launch point South Burlington High School, where over the last 5 years we have instituted this program and perfected it. It is now a 4-step process that starts with a 4-minute video that introduces students to the idea that core values are cool. So armed with this receptivity, we ask the student to look inside and deliberately figure out what's important to him and turn it into words. Once he's got the words and the core values, we ask him to turn those words into pictures. And the purpose of the pictures is to put together a presentation where the student asks the people who are important in his life to attend a presentation where he explains who he is, how he's composed, what his academic expectations are, and what his core values are. The only thing we ask for in the way of rules is authenticity. There's no right number of core values. The right number is whatever is authentic and real. So we ask the students to keep it real. There's no textbook here. Everything is coming from the inside out. That's where we want it to come from, because that's what gives it a higher sense of engagement. Attitude can either be random or deliberate, and attitude is the basis for behavior and engagement in life. An attitude which is driven by core value-driven decisions is far more likely to produce a more meaningful engagement with academic pursuits, and also it serves as a weapon to ward off the various distractions that every student is facing today. Act 77 is a wonderful act. It asks for every student to compose a personal learning plan, and a statement of core values is a requirement of graduation. And VSAC, Vermont Student Assistance Corporation, has been asked to get this act into the hands of the Vermont student population starting this fall, 2018. They have composed a personal learning plan resource manual, and the problem with the manual is it didn't address the idea of core values. Important omission. We asked VSAC if we could write the first chapter. They said yes. We wrote it, they included it, and they're now in the process of publishing this thing, and will distribute it to all the schools in the state. And it will provide a core values platform which serves as a compass to enable students to connect their hearts with their minds and do a more meaningful engagement with the rest of the personal learning plan program. Most importantly, we want them to establish a sense of ownership, which is a lifetime deal, a self-identity, which is defined by what's inside them and what's important to them. At South Burlington High School, we know this program works. Over 1,200 students have participated in the process over the last 5 years. And this program does work. It changes lives. It provides direction. 4 out of 5 students say it was really meaningful, and they're glad that they were exposed to it. So let's hear what the people at South Burlington High School have to say.
One of our teachers, Hannah Dransfield, incredible professional, you know, she did a project, and the project in her class was inspired by a faculty meeting we had where we showed the core principles video and said, hey, this would be a great thing to try to incorporate into your classroom. Well, she ran with that, and she had an incredible project for her students. so incredible that we were like, okay, we have to try to scale this. We have to try to make this go beyond just the students who are lucky enough to have her as a teacher.
What's important to you? You know, this isn't about you solving some equation or trying to memorize some dates. You know, it's about what's most important to you. And then I want you to tell me about it. How can that not be something you'd want to do?
I can tell you that in walking around during our exhibition days, bumping into people and saying, hey, what did you think of the exhibitions? Every person I see is like, oh yeah, the exhibitions were great. Hey, these core principle things, that's pretty cool.
My mom cried at my sophomore exhibition.
My mom definitely was tearing up a little bit. My dad was happy that I was able to express myself.
It's completely appropriate developmentally that students have this reflection come from themselves and pushing it out and up and to parents and to coaches and you know, I mean, the sky's the limit.
And I've seen it change lives. I've seen some students here who've struggled, who haven't had a lot of guidance at home for a variety of reasons, and take advantage of the program that's available to them, and soar and find their passions and find some direction.
You know, I think that when people see the power of it for kids, I don't know how they couldn't buy into it. Because there are just so few opportunities in a traditional public high school setting to ask students to be intentional about really digging deep and looking in the mirror and figuring out what's important to them. So, I mean, I don't know how you could not feel like that was a good thing to do with students.